Imagine a world without smoke detectors, how the benefits of manned space exploration outweigh the costs. Persuasive presentation by Melissa Hooper for Communications Essentials, taught by Professor Mark Dorsey.
As I went down to the valley to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, sisters, let's go down. Come on down, don't you want to go down? Oh, brothers, let's go down, down in the valley to pray. As I went down to the valley to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the robe and crown? Good Lord, show me the way.
What would the world be like without smoke detectors? Think about how many lives are saved each year because smoke detectors do exist. We have the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA, to thank for their invention. Over 1,500 technologies developed by NASA for missions have been transferred to commercial use or some other beneficial application in society. This transfer of technology is the original definition of spin-off. Although there have been great costs, both monetary and human, to space exploration, there have also been great benefits via technological advancement. Areas in which NASA developed technologies have been of benefit to society include public safety and health and medicine. The estimated cost to put anything into a low Earth orbit is $10,000 per pound, which means that it costs roughly $500 to $700 million to put a space shuttle into orbit, and it costs about 10 times as much to land anything on the moon. The lifetime costs per flight for the shuttle program equal approximately $1.5 billion and an estimated $196.5 billion were spent on the shuttle program total. A total of 17 NASA astronauts have lost their lives during missions. This human cost of space exploration first occurred in 1967 when a fire broke out in the cockpit of Apollo 1 during a routine ground test, killing Virgil Gus Grissom, Ed White, and Roger Chaffee when they were unable to open the hatch in time to escape the fire. Another tragedy occurred in 1986 when the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded 73 seconds after liftoff, killing all 7 crew members. The last tragedy was in 2003 when Space Shuttle Columbia was torn apart upon re-entry because the heat shield was damaged during launch, killing all 7 astronauts aboard. Every astronaut knows the risks inherent in traveling to space. Weeks before the Apollo 1 fire, Gus Grissom was quoted as saying, "We hope if anything happens to us, it will not delay the program." Astronauts also realize the invaluable knowledge and technology gained through space exploration. As mentioned in the introduction, the first adjustable smoke detector was invented by NASA for Skylab, the first U.S. space station. Think about how many lives have been saved because people were alerted to a fire by a smoke alarm. An arrangement between NASA and Thiokol Propulsion allowed Thiokol to use NASA's surplus rocket fuel in the production of its demining device flare. This flare neutralizes landmines in the field without having to detonate them. Imagine how many lives and limbs are spared because there is a safe way to neutralize landmines without the need for detonation. Through a joint National Bureau of Standards and NASA effort, a lightweight breathing system for firefighters was created that is now widely used in all manner of breathing apparatuses. Another technology developed by NASA that is now used to help firefighters is life shears. This handheld rescue tool was developed based upon technology used to separate the solid rocket boosters from space shuttles. This tool is used to free people from accidents and other dangerous situations. They were used in rescue efforts at the Federal Building in Oklahoma City in 1995, as well as at the World Trade Center in 2001. An international satellite-based research and rescue system was developed from NASA space-based beacon locators. This rescue system, which operates 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, with 30 countries participating, was credited with saving almost 13,000 lives as of January 2002. NASA also developed the Hazard Analysis and Critical Control Point, a food safety system employed by the Federal Drug Administration and the U.S. Department of Agriculture. The Hazard Analysis and Critical Control Point system includes principles such as minimum cooking temperatures and methods of handling food safety hazards. After the system had been in effect for 1 year, the number of salmonella cases was cut in half. Public safety has benefited from NASA-developed technologies, and health and medicine have as well. Technologies developed by NASA have had a profound effect on health and medicine. A NASA technology used to measure the temperature of stars and planets was used to develop the infrared ear thermometer. Systems used to monitor astronauts' vital signs during the Mercury and Gemini eras spawned the vital signs monitoring systems currently employed in intensive care units and cardiac rehabilitation wards. Using a technology developed via the Hubble Space Telescope program, breast cancer detection can now be done using a less invasive needle biopsy, as opposed to the traditional biopsy, which is more invasive. A chemotherapy technique called photodynamic therapy uses focused light, a NASA-developed technology, to activate medicines that target cancerous cells. Physics experiments looking at colloidal systems, small particles suspended in liquid, led to the development of an instrument used to detect cataracts that is now being adopted to identify other diseases, diabetes, and Alzheimer's. A mechanical arm used to operate 3 instruments simultaneously during laparoscopic surgery was created based upon technologies developed for servicing spacecrafts. Dr. Michael DeBakey of Baylor College of Medicine developed an artificial heart pump, the DeBakey Left Ventricle Assist Device, or LVAD, that is able to maintain the heart in homeostasis. DeBakey's LVAD is said to be one of NASA's most beneficial spin-off inventions. None of these technological advancements would exist today if the NASA technologies they are based upon were not developed initially. NASA-developed technologies have been of benefit to society in various areas, including health and medicine and public safety. Although these benefits have come at a monetary and human cost, the gains outweigh the losses. In a speech kicking off NASA's 50th anniversary year, NASA Administrator Michael Griffin described the pervasive nature of NASA spin-off technologies as such. We see the transformative effects of the space economy all around us through numerous technologies and life-saving capabilities. We see the space economy in the lives saved when advanced breast cancer screening catches tumors in time for treatment, or when a heart defibrillator restores the proper rhythm of a patient's heart. We see it when weather satellites warn us of coming hurricanes, or when satellites provide information critical to understanding our environment and the effects of climate change. We see it when we use an ATM or pay for gas at the pump with an immediate electronic response via satellite. Technologies developed for exploring space are being used to increase crop yields and to search for good fishing regions at sea. The National Aeronautics and Space Act of 1958 requires NASA to provide the widest dissemination of information regarding its technologies possible. As a result, NASA has filed over 6,300 patents with the U.S. government, and NASA spin-off technologies are so ubiquitous that every person is likely to come into contact with at least one such technology every day. This concludes my presentation. Here is a list of all the references used when creating this presentation. I want to make note that all the photos used are from my personal library of photos taken when visiting Kennedy Space Center and the Astronaut Hall of Fame at Kennedy in October 2013, and all the clip art was taken from the clip art library in Microsoft PowerPoint.